it. You are pretty much your own mentor. Like if you have a mentor, brilliant. But I don't think a lot of people are created to be good mentors. Like, I think it's the birthright for all traders. Like, were you in a signals group before?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nqobile Tembane from Top Traders South Africa, and I'm bringing you guys another installment of Market Masters, where I sit down with the most talented and prominent individuals in the industry, and we talk all things financial markets, and as well, and we get into their journey as to how they became who they are today. And today, I'm joined by a very esteemed and special guest. I'm joined by Cleo Dampies.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
It's awesome to be here. So thank you so much.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you just making time for, you know, when we were talking just before we started shooting and you said you're from Cape Town, I'm just like, yeah, you see, guys, I'm bringing you guys people from far now.
We make things happen.
Yeah. Yeah, because I also have like other guys, I think they're from that side of your world, you know, and not Cape Town particularly, but they were like, hey, let us know when you want us to shoot. We'll catch a flight and as well come in, you know, shoot. So it really is like, it's an honor. You've honored us with your presence. And definitely looking forward to today's conversation. We got to speaking about what we're going to talk about today. I am so excited. I think we really I hope you guys are going to enjoy today's. I've already enjoyed it already. Sorry, I did ask you how you're doing, right?
Yes.
You're good. All
yes,
right.
No,
good. Perfect. Yeah. So Cleo Dampies, who are you? By the way, you just recently popped up on our radar.
Oh, wow.
It's like very recent, extremely recent. Got to checking you out as to who's this girl, where's she from, you know, just trying to, you know, find out like exactly what's happening. But tell us who is Cleo?
Well, like I said, social media, I don't share a lot of things about my life on social media. But I try to be as transparent as possible when it comes to social media. Who am I? I'm hardworking, disciplined. It didn't come easy, obviously. Lots of hard work and focus. And, you know, that reason, that why that you always hear about, you have to look at it every single time, especially when you have to face different challenges as well, even in the journey and in life as well. So it's just auditing yourself every single time. So the ability to always want to learn, hardworking, never giving up, you know, the way I want to be treated, I treat other people. So I try my best, you know.
Come on. Yeah.
So I try my best.
Nah, that's beautiful. Yeah. So obviously you're here because you're a trader.
Yes.
First of all, that's the reason for being here. But I think before your journey even started, with your trading journey even started, like what were you doing? What was life like? Let's go back a little bit.
Let's go back. Okay, let's go a little bit back. Okay, so I worked and I studied. Surprisingly enough, I studied musical theatre.
Okay.
So that takes a lot of physical in terms of performing and, you know, vocals and things like that. I recorded music as well in that journey. So it was a very interesting one. So balancing working, going to musical theatre, getting a really good grade so I can get a bursary as well. Because, you know, musical theatre, private schools and the fees on that. So, yeah, just putting all that effort into musical theatre as well.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nqobile Tembane, and I've got an announcement for you guys at home. Octa is launching its yearly New Year promo just for you guys with amazing prizes. Now, what are some of those prizes? Let's go through them real quick. We've got a Rolex watch, 5 Apple Watch hammers, and 100 Octa is the new blue merch packs. The duration of this promo will be running from the 4th of December 2023 all the way to the 23rd of December 2023. Now, you're probably sitting at home and wondering, how do you participate in this? Nqobile, tell me. I'm going to tell you just now. Download the Octa app, use the link in the description below, and create your account if you don't already have one. Navigate to the promotion section on the website or the app, and then sign up for the Octa New Year promo. Then once you're registered, the begin trading your account to accumulate tickets. And here's the thing, guys, the more you trade, the higher your chances are of winning. Promo is open to both new and existing Octa clients. So please take note that this week there will be 15% lowered spread on metals. And wait. Also giving you guys the 100% deposit bonus when you use the Top Trader SA code for more profitable trading journey. Don't forget to use the link in the description below. Trading made clear with Octa.
Traveled to Russia, so that was fun. Got to see a lot of different things.
Yeah.
To this day, I actually believe there's no birds in the sky. Just another side note, because we were in this park once in Russia, and I looked up to the sky, and we could hear birds, but looking up, there was no birds. But there was one pigeon in front of some place where the president was, and the Russians told us that that's a spy for the Russian president. That pigeon was like walking really close to us. Yeah. So one pigeon, the whole entire trip, one pigeon.
Sure.
So traveling has been part of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, great. So when do you actually have your first encounter with the financial markets?
My very first time, I think I would say it started with a book.
Okay.
So I think it was one afternoon, I was bored, and then we had this long cupboard at my parents' house. And in that cupboard, my dad had a whole bunch of books. And somebody told me, just go and look in that cupboard, just go look for a book and read it. And I came across this book, and it was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I was like, what is this? This is an old man on this book. I'm probably going to read it, probably not going to read it. And read this book, and I think I read it twice. And something in that book was like, this resonates with me because it's saying that there's a different alternative to, making money. But I don't think it was about the money factor. I think it was the part where you could find a way out and pretty much decide what you want to do. And then money is just the bonus factor. So the freedom part for me was, there's people out there that are actually doing it. This guy has done it, wrote a book, describes it in such a way that makes it so simple. And then actually from there, I think I was on Facebook or something, and there was this, when Forex wasn't that popular, I would say, there was a seminar, and it was related to the Rich Dad, Poor Dad theme or whatever. Went there, I think it was a weekend. I'm going to be honest, I didn't understand anything. I honestly didn't understand anything. There was these guys from England. They were explaining to a few South Africans what it was. I was probably the youngest in the room. Yeah. So that for me was another thing, because I looked around, I was like, there's a lot of old people here. Yeah. But there must be a reason why I'm here. And so even though I didn't understand anything, I knew there had to be some importance to me being there. And that's also another thing big for me in terms of finding your purpose and what that means, and not just going with the flow, actually knowing why you're there or trying your best to absorb as much as possible.
Yeah.
And so they gave us these little booklets. I still have it to this day.
Okay.
So they had these little booklets and notepads, and they were explaining to us what the foreign exchange market is, how much money they're making. I think most of what I remember is this guy showed us this gold Krugerrand coin. And I was sitting right in front. I always made a conscious effort to be like, I'm here. I need to pay attention. Yeah. And so I sat right in front. And this guy showed this gold Krugerrand coin. And I remember looking at this. And I remember my parents talking about this, the big 5 Krugerrands. And they've always wanted these big 5 Krugerrands. And now I get to see it. So now I'm seeing it in person. And I'm thinking, okay, these guys are from England. We are from South Africa. Why don't we have Krugerrands? Okay. So just that alone made me realize we also got to chat to them a little bit. I asked, okay, what was their story? Some of them said that they, could give their families financial freedom. So that was a big factor as well. And then also, just the fact that they came all the way from England to South Africa, showed us this information, and they were willing to teach us. But at the end of the course, I think it was obviously way too much because, pounds and South African rands. But then I was like, look, guys, I really want to do this. Can I pay half now? And then, we'll see afterwards. And they were like, okay. And they were like, yeah, it's fine. But I did a few online classes with them, but it wasn't still a lot of noise. It still didn't make sense. I knew there had to be something more. So that's how I was introduced to what is Forex, the impact it has on people's lives. But yeah, and that's when I went and did musical theatre. So
you first heard about everything, and and then you decided that no, I'd rather go to school.
Yes, because it didn't have because I didn't understand it. So it didn't have such a big impact in my life where I could implement it in my life and then see it for myself. Doesn't make sense. It was just like these people from England came down. It's just you have to understand it. I don't think it's going to be possible for one to understand and just do it by yourself. It's almost like being in the middle of the desert. How are you going to find water? There's no water around. So I pretty much just went with what I was passionate about, and that was music. And then I was like, okay, recording music, you need to have, some connections. And let's see, if we go to musical theatre school, how will that be? And I can build some relationships in the industry in musical theatre. So I did that. And I did that for about 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you finish?
I didn't.
You didn't?
My final year, they said I'm only getting half a bursary.
Okay.
And then I was like, well, guys, I've been on bursary the whole time. So it's not like I'm going to magically now be able to do that. So I was like, look, if it is what it is, and I'm not going to force it. So I was like, I had a good run. I learned a lot, learned how to work with people in the industry. Just working at a non-stop pace because I was full-time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but a lot of people in your position, in your shoes, might feel like losing a bursary halfway through, or getting half a bursary. It's a knock to them because they've got dreams, aspiration, goals, and all that. So did you feel like that was a big letdown for you?
I feel like there isn't a moment where you can probably stop and think about it. I think you just have to go. Especially if you're proactive. I don't believe in sitting still and then, now I have to feel sorry for myself because you can't change it. It doesn't make sense. So I immediately went to work. So I was working during that time. So full-time student and I'm working. I had this bike, another story. I had this scooter, right? And my parents got me that, and I'm very grateful for that back then as well. And they got me the scooter, so I drove from work all the way to the campus, the college, and I would drive up and down. So early morning back, and then sometimes I would have shifts at 4:30 in the morning. So I'd be up at 3:30 in the morning, and then 4:30, I have to be there 5:30, start working, and then I would be done at 7:30 or 8 o'clock. No, 7 o'clock, and then I would drive through to campus.
Okay.
Sometimes I'd be late 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And my teachers would be like, you can't come in because you're late. I'm like, if only you knew what it took to get here.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things. So
mind you guys, so today the time of shooting was 3 o'clock. She was here at exactly 3 o'clock. My brother was like, before you guys actually got here, she's like, if she actually gets here at 3 on the dot, that means her trading must be pretty precise as well.
Yes. That's not even a joke. It's serious. Yeah,
it's serious like that. And I think a lot of people really need to understand is that how you live your life, it also reflects. It's a reflection. It reflects on the charts as well.
It does.
It really does. No, but we'll get to that. We'll get to the trading.
Okay.
Yeah. So so cool. So you're working. So now the bursary, you're not at school anymore.
Yeah.
So when do you actually get back to the trading thing? When does that spark now get sparked again?
So obviously I was introduced to it very early on, and then it wasn't in my life at that point, and then I was working, and then I met a few people along my journey, very successful Forex traders as well, and I was blessed enough for them to just guide me a little bit in terms of the basics. But that alone wouldn't have gotten me to this point.
Okay.
And that's why I emphasize so much on, working on, auditing yourself and making sure that if you make a mistake, correct it. You are pretty much your own mentor. Like if you have a mentor, brilliant. But I don't think a lot of people are created to be good mentors. Yeah. And the title mentor is a big one because it's not about you, it's about the student. And if you're able to really help them navigate through each and every step. So, I was blessed enough to have 3 really good traders get me on track to the right place to just remove the noise a little bit. And then I started on my journey and I started practicing and backtesting and just going through the basics, recapping of what I've learned before, going through analysis and things like that. So, just practicing a lot.
Yeah, a lot of sleepless nights.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about those. Because I think people tend to just see a lot of guys right now on social media. And they kind of, yes, in as much as a lot of people are like, but we've spent a lot of sleepless nights, whatnot. But people actually don't understand the depth of that particular statement on its own. People think that, hey, they can just jump into this Forex thing and then 2 months down the line, 3 months down the line, hey. Yeah.
So to emphasize on sleepless nights and what that actually means, look, you're not going to, I wasn't babied into this, okay? I didn't spend that much time. A lot of the traders said spend a lot of time on demo account and things like that. But I felt like I had urgency to get to the charts. So meaning that I had to get a few bruises to learn how to do it the right way. So in other words, I learned it the hard way. Okay. So, and then I realized I had to be my own mentor. And really, it's an interesting thing. Like no one has ever asked me this before, but if I look back at it, it's quite interesting because I would be my own mentor. There would be me, Cleo the trader, and then there would be Cleo the mentor.
Okay.
And I would be able to shift between the two and be like, okay, you know how to do analysis. You're perfecting strategy. You're getting better and better and better. But how can you be better? How can you get more precise results? How can you, start getting better returns? Because I know you're good at this. So it was almost like I was mentoring myself, even to this day. By auditing myself, by writing in a journal, anything that I did wrong or, okay, I did this trade, everything was perfect, but it went like this. Why? And so I would always want to know more and then just research a little bit more and just repetition. That's pretty much it. And just to talk about sleepless nights, actually before coming across, how to do the basics in trading and things like that, I actually started out on a signals group. So I don't know where I found the signals group. I think everyone's journey starts out like that.
Exactly, for real.
So I was actually on the signals group, and I think it was a group of few guys, and they had the signals group, and they specialize in, I think, indices and a whole bunch of other things. I didn't really know at that point. I didn't have any knowledge at that point. I knew a little bit of what Forex was, but I think at that point you don't trust yourself enough to do anything. So you're like, let me trust this person that I don't know to guide me in trading my own.
But why is it like that? Because so you said everyone's journey is like that. I remember at some point during my early days, I was in several signal groups. How I got there, I don't know.
It's like, I think it's the birthright for all traders. Like, were you in a signals group before? Yes or no? No. Okay, you're not part of that. So I think, so I was in the signals group, and when I say sleepless nights, there's actually a humorous side to that as well. So it's not just the study part and stay up late and fixing your errors and, writing everything down in your journal. But also, most importantly, I think staying up for an Asian session, having someone in a group say, okay, guys, at 2 a.m., we're going to jump in. And being an amateur at that point, you're just sitting there and the lights are off and you have this phone screen in front of you and you're like, okay, guys, at 2 a.m., we're going to jump in. And here you with your 0.01 lot size and you're like, okay, let's go. Press the sell button. And you see this candle move and you're like, but I just made 20 cents. So I stayed up so late for this 20 cents. And that's fundamentals for you. So, like I started out, maybe let's say fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
Someone in a signals group saying, okay, we're going to enter at this point, we're going to exit at this point. So no stop loss, no take profit, just entry. Well, not in that precise way, but enter here, sell here, this pair, and I'll tell you when to exit. And I remember after seeing 20 cents, I was like, nah, you can't do financial freedom from this. I'm not going to make a change in my life from this. And that's what enhanced me to just go out there a little bit more and be like, okay, there's more to this. There's money there, but there's more to this. And I need to study to find my edge, find who I am as a trader. So yeah, sleepless nights.
Yeah, no, that's, I know, obviously now you're getting into things, you're trading now. Yeah, just walk us into those early days of the trading, because right now after the signal group thing, what happens with your trading from there?
Yeah, so just to recap, then I came across 3 profitable traders, very diverse, but I just feel like the people you surround yourself with does matter. So I looked at, okay, they're successful, but I want to see their lifestyle, not in the way that one would think. So I want to see how you treat the people that you're around. I want to see, are you more materialistic or are you focusing more on assets? And yeah, some of them had a little bit of those qualities, but I had to just know get into the basics. And then, MetaTrader, all those things, how to do MetaTrader, the basics. So, yeah. And then started perfecting strategy, which is now NFA Millionaire Strategy. And then just knowing the basics of that. And over time, just fixing it, changing it, improving it. I think, we'll get into that.
Let's get into it now, okay, actually. I actually putting together a strategy, and improving it, because I think a lot of people are chasing the strategy, and I think that people stop chasing strategies. I promise you right now, stop it. But also building your own strategy as well. What went into that?
Research.
Yeah.
Lots of research. I like to understand a lot of what's going on internationally. So I'm a big believer on not going to YouTube and understanding what's happening on YouTube. The reason why I say that is because if you watch those videos very carefully, once you're done with that video, they're going to say, how about you tap onto this next video?
Yeah.
And this strategy is going to be the best strategy. And I was like, but I feel like my strategy is better than these people in America, so I'm just going to perfect it. So lots of trial and error, lots of back testing, and then perfecting time frame as well, checking what is like I said, a few bruises. So, and then risk management, developing risk management strategy as well. There's more to it than just one. Having an edge, it's not the only thing you need. And I think a lot of people think you need to have that one holy grail strategy. But I believe that there's a lot of strategies that work. So you need to find which strategy just works best for your trading appetite, if it makes sense. Because some people are more aggressive, some people are more conservative. I'm a more conservative trader. I like to still live my life and place a trade. There's different strategies. I believe all strategies have their edge and they will play out when they need to. I think a lot of people shouldn't strategy hop. They should just try and perfect the strategy that they have or developed and then fine tune it to the best of their ability. And risk management. So obviously that is what, like I said, there's strategy, fine tuning strategy, developing it in a way that best suits your trading style. Because remember, a strategy is just a strategy till you make it your own, revamp it, change it, and make it better. Okay, so once I did that, it took me about I would say a good 2 years.
Sure.
Trial and error. I don't mean that lightly. Okay. I always believe Forex traders, even though we don't pay tuition as university, we pay our tuition in the market.
Yeah.
So that 2 years, and then realizing there's more to it. It's not just strategy. Okay. It's more to it to be profitable.
Yeah.
So you can have a strategy, but then I developed trade management strategy. And that is a whole nother detail. So risk management, what lot size to use, how to manage your trades, how do you pay yourself when the market starts giving you profits, and how do you secure that in a way that let your winners run. I heard that a lot, especially internationally, where they say, let your winners run. And I'm thinking to myself, what do you mean? The trade, it's entry, stop loss, TP, let your winners run. I'm letting it run, but then it can turn around at any point, and then it could possibly hit my stop loss. So that saying of let your winners run was very vague for me. And that's why I say I'm always asking why.
Yeah.
There's something more to this.
Yeah.
So I'll get like I said, I'll get the basics. I understand the basics. I'll know what that means, but there's more to it. So I'll go deeper into it because like you said, a lot of people might be held back a little bit. They won't overshare too much with you, right? So then I was like, look, I'm not going to hang around and wait for people to give me more information and wait for that information to make sense to me. I'm going to go out there and look, and I'm going to find it and I'm going to see it. And a lot of my information I found on the charts when I traded.
Okay.
And like I told you, I didn't spend a lot of time on demo. I think a lot of people waste a lot of time on demo and then they get comfortable on demo and then it's like, now you're in the real market. Now you have heart attacks, heart beats fast because your risk management isn't good. And that's what I always say, especially having students at the moment as well and in the past as well. I was like, okay, you're in this trade. Why are you panicking? Send a screenshot. So I'm always like, send a screenshot. I don't care what you have to say, send a screenshot. And I'll always see risk management is something they see on social media.
Okay.
There will be barcodes, known as not barcodes, okay? They'll be in trades, and I'll be like, why on that one trade would you blow an account? Where's your risk management? Okay, so risk management is another strategy.
Okay.
So you can't see it as something separate. It's strategy, which is your edge. Then there's risk management strategy. And then there's your psychology.
Yeah.
And I say there's 3 recipes to becoming a profitable trader. If you don't have any of those 2, if one is missing, you're not going to be a profitable trader. No matter how much you believe, you pray.
Yeah.
Okay, today if I put this trade here and it turns around, because now you don't have stop loss. Okay, there's a lot of scenarios like that. So if you don't have a stop loss, you enter a trade, no risk management, and you see this trade starts doing the opposite of what you wanted. Because now you already had the expectation it's going to go your way. It's going to go your way.
Yeah.
But what happens if it doesn't go your way? You didn't use risk management. You might not even have a stop loss. Now you start praying and you're like, look, today if this happens, I promise I won't do it tomorrow. But it will happen tomorrow because you don't have that discipline. You don't have that psychology. You don't have that risk management and you don't have an edge. You didn't backtest. You didn't check, okay, how clean is my analysis? If I backtest, how many times will my trades play out?
Yeah.
So yeah, that also, risk management is also probability. So that's how you figure out your edge and,
Yeah. With strategy, when do you actually know that you need to improve your strategy?
Very good question. Continuous auditing, I think when you don't get the results that you know you should get.
Okay.
So I think once you know, and that's like a you versus you situation, because you can easily be good at trading, but you can compare yourself to another trader and be like, but I want to make this in one day. But you consistent. Doesn't make sense. So it's like, how do you know? That's a freaking good question. How do you know? Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure there were moments in your in your journey where you sat down, you looked at your strategy and you're like, actually, I need to improve there. But the thing is, it's that how do you know part? Because I know a lot of people are sitting down with strategies. Because I liked what you said earlier on. You said that your strategy, you can take a strategy, but you need to make it your own. I think you said it somewhere along the lines. I know people will rewind and be like, Nqobile, she didn't say that. Hey.
It's okay.
It's okay. No, but that kind of thing. But I'm just saying is that, like, now the improvements of the strategy, at which point do you feel like, because people are sitting with strategies for days.
Yes.
And I've been preaching as of late is that every strategy works. It does work. But now you're talking about the improvements of taking the strategy and improving it according to one's whatever.
Your own trading ability. So when I say improving it, like anything in life, you'll get a product, and then you'll see a product and be like, but this thing can be better, it can be more accurate, it can be better, it can be more sufficient. And that's how you develop into a whole new level of accuracy. So how do you know when to fine tune? I would say backtesting, and then checking with time frame, especially what is more accurate for your point of interest on how you're going to enter a trade. Where do I feel like my accuracy is? And then just removing the noise. And that's why I call myself an accelerated mentor, because I literally remove the fluff. Because I know what it takes. When I started, it wasn't that easy. Okay? It was literally like, I actually get emotional a little bit about it, because it wasn't easy. It was like, there was a lot of gatekeeping, if you want to put it that way. Nobody's going to share information with you to get you to that level of profitability. It's just not going to happen. And that's why I felt like there's something missing in this industry, and it would actually frustrate me, because I'll be like, okay, I'm making money and it's people in lockdown, or there's something happening here. People are really struggling, and I feel like people need this skill. So why isn't anyone teaching the skill? Well, there were people that were probably teaching people, but there was something missing. And I think it was that authenticity, that transparency, telling people how it is. And people don't like to hear that as well. You'll be like, start with mentorship. And they'll be like, no, but can't you do this for me? And I'll be like, start with mentorship. You can't skip levels. I like to think of this idea in terms of, you watched enough videos to become a surgeon, right? So, I watched enough videos. I think I'm a good surgeon. I can go and operate on someone, right? And it's the same with trading. You watched enough videos, heard enough information. There's too much noise. And now you think you can get into the market and you can trade successfully and be profitable. And a lot of people think in the 3 months, I was one of those people, 3 months, I'm going to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
It didn't happen that way. I had to learn the hard way through my own errors. Because remember, the market isn't out to get you. It's just you. You adding emotions to the charts. So once you remove yourself from that and you're like, look, you're here to do one job, and that's place trades, and place trades at the most accuracy as possible. And that's all you can do in risk management. That's all you can control. So the outcome is very random. Anything can happen, but you have an edge. But anything can happen. And that's what people don't understand, is when you're in a trade, the only thing you can control is your risk management, that lot size, where you're going to put your stop loss. Okay, if the market goes in the opposite direction, hits my stop loss, am I okay with that loss? And so I think that's what actually separates someone that's profitable and someone that's not profitable. Like, I would look at the risk first before the profit.
Yeah.
So, I think I'm also going off topic, but...
No, you're right. No, keep talking. Just, I got you. Don't worry. All right. Yeah, you touched on accuracy right now, and I know we had a phone call, and you said something that was so crucial, that you said accuracy does not particularly mean profitability.
Yes.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Yeah, heavy game changer.
Game changer. I think we're going to be shaking some making some earthquakes here at the moment.
100%.
When I figured that out, I felt like I wanted to tell everyone. Because when I was, so I'm busy now with accuracy, I'm getting everything right, I'm making money, and I wanted to teach other people, because it gets lonely, okay? You know everything. How are you going to talk about something when everyone else is not doing well? Lockdown, everyone's having problems and things like that. And you're like, I need to teach people. And I think I just taught some lady that I was at work with at that point, and a sibling as well. And it was just the two of us. And then I was like, I need to have more people here.
A community.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like, I want students, I want to mentor students, and that title of being a mentor. It literally wasn't about that. I just felt like, there's more people need to know this. I feel bad for being the only person knowing this.
Yeah.
And being a trader is a very unique thing as well. Just to touch base on that, because a lot of careers, you study something to make your parents proud. But when you choose to be a trader, I think trading chooses you, to be honest.
Sure.
But when you become a trader, the first thing you want to do is help other people. Well, that's just me, okay? So once you figure something out, you want to help other people. So it becomes something that is like burning inside of you, that you have to do this. You have to teach one person, and one person needs to figure this out, so that okay, You do you. There's more than enough for all of us. You do you. As long as I did what I needed to do, I'm good. And I'm big on that, because if someone succeeds, then obviously I feel like, I conveyed the knowledge really well, and I can see that, and that I'm proud of that. So yeah.
So guys, when we're referring to accuracy, mind you, I know some of you are like, what are they talking about? Ever seen those posters on social media where it says 90% accurate?
I want to go more in depth with that.
90% accurate signals, 95% accurate signals. Yes, basically, Cleo saying that does not mean that you're going to be profitable.
Yeah, I can go more in depth with that.
Let's go with it.
So when that was a game changer for me, I always thought 90%, 99%, even 100% is what would make someone understand. At that point, I'm like, our strategy is accurate. It's 80 to 99% accuracy. That's by calculating how many times we get it correct, right? And then I realized, after doing a little bit of research, that a lot of traders internationally don't have the best accuracy. Some of them have 30% accuracy. Some of them have 50% accuracy. And I even showed you my stats as well. So we'll get more in depth with that. But that for me was a game changer, because it's like, but we have 80 to 90% accuracy. We need to start withdrawing way more. And just seeing they're driving Lamborghinis, all those things now, but they have 30% accuracy or stuff like that. So I was thinking there's more to that. And that's where the trade management strategy came into play. I have a whole map out of that. Okay. And you'll see in terms of risk to reward ratio how powerful that is. You can lose 7 trades and win 3 trades and still be really profitable. Yeah. And that's about your risk to reward ratio. And I think a lot of people don't think about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I know you're a swing trader, but you used to day trade.
Yes.
Yeah. So why the switch? Why switch from day trading to swing trading?
Okay. So some trades require me to hold overnight, maybe over the weekend, maybe for a whole week. So it just depends on the trade. But I found that I'm pretty patient. Yeah. Some people might not be that patient but like I said, my trade management strategy really helps me stay composed to swing trade. Okay. If you don't have that, I don't think you'll be able to compose yourself and hold a trade.
Not at all.
And see it fluctuate, go all the way up, bullish, and then suddenly turn around and then go back up again. So I think swing traders, we're unique. Yeah. We have a lot of patience, but it has built up over time. I started as a day trader, and that just means you're in the trade, out the trade same day. But then I realized, but my analysis is pretty clean. And then that term of let your winners run, that always see my trades after I've reached my 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. And that's about like 60 pips perhaps, depending on the trade. But then I realized, but this thing went further up or further down. Yeah. What is it to this? And that's where perfecting strategy to your own capabilities comes into play. Sure. So seeing, it's literally like baby steps, and always auditing yourself to be like, okay, I'm a day trader. Okay, I'm really accurate. I'm really good. I'm getting the results I want, but there's more. Okay, so now I'm like, okay, now I need to develop this. Trade management strategy comes into play. And my mind goes, I'm writing, put it to work. And I'm a very practical person, so I'll take what I did there, put it in the chart, see, does it work? Does it bring a result? Cool. Now I can go and I can tell my students, use this. Yeah. So that's why I'm an accelerated mentor. I don't just mentor for the fun of it to say, okay, I'm going to mentor your strategy and that's it. I mentor you to the point that everything I use, I teach. Yeah. So, and what works, I teach. So I remove all the noise, the definitions, all those things. You don't need them. I don't know who needs to tell someone, please stop looking in PDFs. Please stop looking at notes. It's strategy, trade management, psychology, nothing else. Backtest. Practice.
Yeah. So you said, let your winners run. But okay, earlier on in your whole story, you heard somebody say that to you and you didn't understand it. But I feel like right now you have a better understanding of what that actually means when they say let your winners run.
Yeah.
So can you just give us let us in a bit on what? Yeah.
Let my winners run.
Yeah,
like a little bit.
Yeah, like letting your winners run. What does that actually mean for you? You know,
Okay.
because right now you said you heard it earlier on. You didn't understand it, but now you understand it. So I want to know that process between the not understanding and the understanding it now.
Okay, so the process of that, like I said, keeping it safe. I think you need to keep it safe a little bit. So when someone says, let your winners run, you think it's basic, right? You think, okay, straightforward, let your winners run, be in the trade, let the trade run in profits and don't touch it till it hits your TP, your take profit. So that's what it meant to me first. Okay, so let your winners run, let it hit take profit. And then I realized, but then the market, can do what it wants. Can reverse, can change direction, and can go and hit your stop loss. So letting your winners run didn't really make sense. So I removed that thought. And then only later on, once I was like, but I'm looking at my trades. I'm doing 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, but my trades are going even more into profits. If I held it a little bit longer, more profits, right? So then let your winners run came back. And it was like, that's what they meant. Okay. But I like to link something to that, but it might not even be that.
Okay.
I'm just taking that term and being like, okay, that's what it means to me. Let your winners run means trade management. Okay. So when the trade's here, it's in profit. Okay. Now I'm going to move my stop loss to break even. Things like that. So just knowing how to do that. I can't go too much in depth with it because I cover it in all my other things, but utilizing that stop loss. That's all I'm going to say. Utilizing that stop loss to your benefit. Your stop loss is actually your best friend.
Yeah.
Like I say, I always pay attention to the risk. And how can I utilize? Well, everyone is scared of the stop loss, and what that means, I utilize it to let my winners run. Okay, I hope you're...
No, I'm with you.
Okay.
I hope they with you as well. Yeah. So, I got asked the other day, what's a good risk reward ratio? I answered according to obviously what I feel like, but as well to the next person it might not be the case. So how do you advise somebody on, hey, when they ask you what's a good risk reward ratio that they should be chasing?
Okay, so a good risk reward ratio, I would say, is any amount that your stop loss is. You obviously need to determine your stop loss according to your strategy, right? So whatever the amount your stop loss is, you need to double that amount for your target. Always aim for more than your stop loss. You can aim for 1-to-1, but the amount of times you're going to have to win a trade, we all know anything can happen, and you winning every single trade is not realistic. So you need to be in the trade and be like, okay, if I'm in this trade, I don't want a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I maybe want a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio. So if my stop loss is 20 pips, my take profit has to be 40 pips. So always aim for a little bit more, guys.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to, aim for more. A good risk to reward ratio is aiming for double the amount of your stop loss.
Yeah. So understanding your process is that whenever you start looking at a trade, the first thing you start with, obviously you analyze, and then from the analysis you start with the stop loss. And then the stop loss kind of just determines on the other side, obviously, on the upside.
Yeah. So, it's a little bit challenging to explain because when you get to a point of, okay, that's your stop loss, let your winners run, this is how I do trade management, it's a little bit challenging to describe it in terms of not showing you what that looks like on the charts, and then how you're going to do it and navigate your stop loss and move it above your entry, and then from there, what do you do next? So that's what mentorship is for. That's that's what it's for. Yeah. So to guide you and take you step by step. But a good risk reward ratio is definitely 1-to-2.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I was going to ask you what it takes to be a profitable trader, but you've already gone into that.
Three things,
yes.
And repetition. Practice.
You spoke about trading psychology. Yeah, what is, according to you, your own definition, what is trading psychology for you? Because I know a lot of people have different perspectives on trading psychology.
Well, trading psychology goes hand in hand with your habits. Before, like when I was consistent, I was I was being pretty profitable, but I was like, I'm indoors all the time. Doesn't really feel productive. I'm actually frustrated. There's more to this than like, I don't want to be behind my computer the whole time. So then that's where I went more into psychology. And I was like, okay, let me read a bit. What is psychology? And from that, psychology was habits, your habits, how you operate. When you wake up in the morning, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I wake up, open my laptop, and I just try to make money.
Yeah.
And then that was actually the incorrect way to do, because that's where your psychology does play a huge factor in your environment as well. So it's not just trading, your mental state as well, while you're indoors or looking at a computer, not very conducive. And that's why I developed this habit to go and gym. So I work out 5 days a week, every morning. And so I built a routine. And that took discipline. It wasn't easy, but the more I developed discipline, it started to show in my trading. I started to be very sharp, very focused. My psychology improved because I realized that the outcome can be anything you want. You have an edge, but anything can happen.
Yeah.
And so that also allowed me to let go a little bit, because I think sometimes when you're trading, you put a lot of importance on that one trade. And when you put importance on that trade, if the outcome is not what you expect, it can be crucial for your psychology and your mental state and your confidence in your own abilities to trust that you can do better the next time. So psychology, it's confidence, it's showing up prepared. So I like to do analysis ahead of time, so Sunday evening. The more advanced you get, you'll be able to do it that same morning. But when you're starting out, for the beginners, rather do it Sunday morning. If you have other things that you need to balance, your psychology in discipline needs to be there. So your priorities and things like that need to be on point. You already have something else that's distracting you. So your psychology and routine needs to be on point. So gymming was a major turning point for me, psychologically, for trading. And then just having a routine, backtesting, which built my confidence, which is my psychology, to know that I can analyze with precision and I can get the results that I'm looking for without having the expectation of I'm going to make money from that trade.
Yeah.
So it's also about it's interesting. It's like about letting go, placing the trade, letting go from the outcome, accepting the risk, and then getting really good payouts. But it's like the letting go. It's about the letting go factor. I understand when you're starting out, it's very, very important to see profits. And that is a very important turning point for you to keep staying motivated. Even when you make mistakes, you keep coming back because you're like, no, I know what I can do. I've seen what I can do. I just need to fix a few things. And that's how you keep staying motivated. It helps with your confidence when it comes to psychology.
Yeah. So I've heard actually quite the opposite, that somebody saying that the most detrimental thing that can happen to a new beginner trader is for them to see profits very early on in trading. Do you disagree with that?
I disagree with that.
Yeah.
If you do everything the right way, if you have a good support structure or support system, that's what the community that I built is very important, just to sidetrack that. But I'm saying you need to have a good foundation. I think what they were referring to was someone that's in a random signals group and they see profits.
Okay.
Now they depend on that person to make the next profit. And when that outcome doesn't happen, they don't understand because they don't have psychology, they don't have trade management, they don't know what risk management is, and they don't have an edge. They don't have strategy. So now, I would say, there's two ways to look at it. I would say if you're in a signals group and you have no foundation, then it's detrimental.
Yeah.
Now you're dependent on someone you don't know. You don't have anything to stand on. You don't understand why you're entering that trade in the first place. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll say on that. But if you know what you're doing and you are practicing and you're doing those 3 things that I just said, it's just 3 things. If you keep doing those things and you see profits, you're going to feel good. It's going to boost your confidence.
Yeah.
Because you know what you're doing.
Sure.
You're doing the right things. You're doing the right steps. You're not taking shortcuts. So, and a lot of people like to take shortcuts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hope that clarified that
No,
whole thing.
it really does clarify a whole
Yeah.
lot. Even for me, myself, I'm sitting here, I'm like, sure, actually, that is correct. You know, so have you ever had any moments in your journey where you felt like you wanted to give up?
Never.
Never. Interesting.
No. No. That's what I say.
Yeah.
If you know what you're doing, yeah, if you know what you're doing and you've seen what you can do, and you know that you just need to audit yourself just a little bit, fix a few things. Okay, risk management wasn't so good this time around. Let's fix it. And so I say it's so important to look at yourself and not try and be right every single time. I think that's another factor, especially if you live in, like, you grow up as a South African, right?
Yeah.
You had that fighting spirit, okay? We will never give up, okay?
Yeah.
That feeling. And I was like that. I was like, I will never give up in this trade. This trade is going to go. I believe it will. And that's the shift for me as well, because I was like, but you have to, that's also, I think it was some book, PDF. I think his name's Douglas something.
Mark Douglas.
Mark Douglas, yeah.
Yes.
And major point for psychology as well.
Trading in the zone.
I didn't read the book.
Okay.
I like to check points.
Okay.
I don't have time to I read books, but I
Yeah.
take my time. So I think reading sometimes doesn't come naturally to a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true.
So try your best. Find points,
Yeah.
important points. And along your journey, I had like a whole bunch of quotes as well. And I was like, okay, this is what happens. The outcome, okay, anything can happen, da 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 da. So the outcome is random. So I was like, okay, the outcome is random. This guy is saying this. Okay, let me find out and look more into the charts and see, okay, yeah, the outcome is random. We did everything correctly, but anything can happen.
Yeah.
So come to terms with it. Let go.
Yeah.
And I think that level of trying to be in control of something and being on the charts and be like, okay, it must go my way. Just let go. We have that fighting spirit. Some people will even be like, okay, if I did the wrong thing now, I promise I won't do it again. Let it go this way today. And I know a lot of people go through that.
Yeah.
Because we've all done it. We've all gone through that.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
We've all gone through that because we all have that fighting spirit. We're doing it for our big reason why is for that freedom. We have our different reasons of what freedom means to us. But like you said, did I ever have any moments where I wanted to quit? No, because there was a bigger purpose to that. For some reason, I knew the effort that I was putting in, I was seeing improvement. So I knew I was on the right track. And so I had to keep going.
Yeah.
And this is almost like a bigger purpose. Like I said, like at the beginning, I didn't understand anything at all. It was, my brain was not, the math wasn't mathing, okay? But I knew I had to write down as much as possible. And funny enough, I go and do my own thing, and then suddenly it's back in my life. And like I said, I think Forex genuinely chooses you.
Okay.
Because you can go off and do anything you wanted to, but I think also another thing why I think it appeals to a lot of people is because the market doesn't care who you are, where you come from. It just cares if you have an edge in the market. And it gives you a lot of opportunity that's uncapped. No one can determine the outcome for you in terms of financial gain, in terms of growth. Very, very rewarding journey.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
I loved that you spoke about getting into a routine, especially when you said you started gymming. That was a difficult time for you. I don't know, but that's actually leading to my next question as to what's your daily, do you have a daily trading routine?
Okay, so let me take you through that a little bit. So as I said, I gym in the morning. And then I did analysis ahead of time. So I'm not too concerned about what's happening on the charts. I'll know pretty much ahead of time what opportunities I'm looking for. And then let's say I wake up and the trade says, okay, I see everything's looking good and I can enter the trade. I'll enter the trade, do everything I need to, and then I'll go to gym.
Yeah.
And then that's about like an hour and a half, more or less. And then when I get back, I just check the charts, read. And like I said, I like to fill my time with traveling because I don't have to be stuck to one place. And that's the main reason why I also do it, because I don't have to be stuck in one place. I can think, okay, if I'm going to travel somewhere overseas, okay, what's a time zone? Most importantly, because it's different time zones.
Yeah.
And then what am I going to trade? And yeah, so that's just pretty much my routine. It's very relaxed, very chill. It doesn't feel like that sometimes. But once
most days,
very, very chilled. And that's why I feel it also with, mentoring and stuff like that. But that's not very often. It's once a week. And other than that, I read, try and get as much new knowledge into my mind as possible. Try my best not to scroll on social media.
Okay.
Because that can also be a little bit distracting. So as soon as, it's just always checking in with yourself. Being like, okay, I'm doing this too much. That's not too good for you. So do this instead.
Yeah.
Pick up a book, read, do something else.
And you speak about social media, and I think a lot of people tend to just ignore that one and be like, but we need to see what's going on we need to see who's trading what. Trading what, and when did it hit you? At which point did it hit you and you said to yourself that actually, the social media thing, actually, I need to cut down on it?
I think when you slowly start to see yourself, maybe compare yourself to others, and also it gets a little bit distracting and a little bit toxic as well. So I think for me, I'm just speaking from my perspective.
But you're speaking truth, so I'm in agreement.
Yeah, so it can get toxic, it can distract you, it can fill your mind with a lot of like nonsense stuff, So I try to check and try not to use social media as much, only maybe if I post now and then. Like I said, I'm not major on social media. Also in terms of other traders being on social media and things like that, I don't follow any traders, so I don't know what's going on there. But I would say a major point I can give is when you're on this journey, you cannot be following other traders. You do not know their backup. You do not know anything about them. So you're just seeing on the surface what they have control of showing you.
Yeah.
So be very careful of that as well, because you don't want to live through those traders. If it makes sense. Like, they achieved something, you're going to live through them as well. You're going to comment there like, it's not your achievements. It's not your goals. So I think also going on this journey, you have to really understand who you are. Does it align with you or not? I think you'll see from my social media.
Yeah.
I try to be as authentic as possible. So you'll see me bundu bashing. I'll do anything, like anything in nature and things like that. Any new experiences. I don't post a lot of things, but some of the things you'll see, I think it's fun.
Yeah. It's just vibes.
I think it's fun. So, but yeah, people starting out or even on their journey or even reaching that level of getting to that 5 figures, 6 figures, I would highly suggest don't pay attention to other traders.
Yeah, that's true.
You can have maybe friends in the industry and things like that, but me personally, I don't have any. I keep to myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, just stay focused. It's you versus you, not you versus anyone else. You don't know their backup. You don't know the inside.
Yeah,
they
that's
show you
true.
whatever. So the only thing I know is my journey, and I try to convey that as authentically as possible to show people, like, okay, not like to show people, but to let them know there's another side to this. There's another alternative to this. You're not supposed to, be too flashy. It's also very dangerous. So
yeah, that's true.
And you won't see a stockbroker, or you won't see a owner of F&B showcasing things on social media, posting bank statements and things like that. Common sense.
Yeah.
Try your best, all traders out there, to be safe, and just know you don't have to prove yourself to people, because then you're proving it to the wrong people. If you have to prove yourself, it's to the wrong people. So try and be as authentic as possible. And if you're on this journey and you feel like you're not motivated, or you feel like you don't have a good support structure, just know why you're doing it. Even if you're doing it for yourself, just know why you're doing it. If someone says you can't do it, tell yourself you can do it. Even if the results are not showing for you at that moment, just say you can do it. If you practice and you don't be delusional, okay? But like I said, there's 3 things. Strategy, which gives you an edge.
Okay.
Trade management, which also teaches you let your winners run. Risk management, in psychology. That all goes hand in hand with making you a profitable trader. I can't say this enough. If you guys don't take this today, I don't know. Yeah, apply it, please. Yeah,
but it seems like you've dealt with the pressure very well. Pressure of being a trader, because it comes with a certain pressure nowadays. Let's be honest, just being a trader, I know people, if you do mention to people, it's like, no, I trade. Now people see you in a certain light, right? Now, it just comes with certain pressure. Even being on social media, sometimes it comes with that pressure. You feel pressure from people, Yeah.
I'll tell you this one story, because I'm a private person. Okay? So you can't tell really much. But I like to keep things a little bit private. So this one time we were traveling and we were at the petrol station. And this car attendant looked at my bank card.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, because now being in Cape Town, you're just naive. You just do your own thing.
Yeah.
You don't think anything of it. Okay. So on the card, it says, okay. So I give my card to the petrol attendant, and he looks at the card. He looks at me. Forex. I'm like, should I use the different card? But it's just that alone. And then I think he asked, can you give me a bonus and things like that. So like you said, it's one of those things when you say Forex or anything to do with Forex, people have this thing about you that you have to show up in a certain light because of what they've seen. And that's why I put so much emphasis on being as authentic as possible, because this journey isn't just all sunshine and roses.
Yeah.
You like I said, you take it on the chin. You have to, if you knock down, you get back up, fix what you need to fix, and continue, because you have a goal in mind till you get to that goal and you achieve it. But even once you reach that goal, I've already achieved most of my goals that I wanted, and I still have tons more to achieve. But even then, you don't have time to stop and be like, that moment that I once did this trade, you don't even think about it. So this is literally the first for me to sit down and talk about it and, go through it and see it and take it step by step. So it's really cool.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, let's get to the charts. Yeah.
Okay.
So when you open up the charts, what's the first thing you're looking for? And what time frame are you focused on?
So I'm not going to go too much in depth with strategy. I like to keep that to myself, as I don't post about it on social media. I don't post it on YouTube or anything like that. I don't know why people do that. But they're welcome to do as they wish.
Yeah.
But I always think that there's something to it if someone shares you a strategy that makes them a lot. And they don't take you step by step and guide you.
Yeah.
It's like giving someone something and then telling them figure it out.
Yeah, okay.
I don't believe in that. So so I can tell you time frame. I focus on 1 hour time frame. What I focus on the charts, like I said to you, 20 pairs, currency pairs. Yeah. When I say risk management is a thing, I mean it.
Yeah.
When you have a variety of 20 pairs to look at, then risk management is a huge factor. Trade management, how many trades you're going to be placing for that day, how many losses you're also going to take for that day after your psychology starts messing about.
Yeah.
So you also need to know your threshold as well. How many losses can you take? Because I think people don't pay attention to that. Like if you have trade management, you're doing the strategy, you're looking at 20 pairs in my scenario, and you're just looking at the trade and you don't know what to do. So you need to make sure that you have that trade management in place to know, okay, if I place 4 trades and I lose all 4 trades, am I done for the day? What happens to my psychology? Am I going to start going, AWOL and start placing revenge trade and things like that? So you need to know that, it's what's your perimeters? What is your psychology? So it's knowing yourself really well to be like, okay, I'm going to place 4 trades. If 4 trades lose that day or that week, then you're good. You're done for the week.
Okay.
You don't want to do any more, come back.
Yeah.
So it's also that self-control.
Yeah, heavy self-control.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's so easy right now, especially with brokers nowadays, to just funding accounts now and find yourself just placing so many more trades because that lack of self-control, it's so key and crucial. Yeah. So you focus on 20 pairs. My question is, do you trade those 20 pairs, or do you place trades on those 20 pairs every week, or is it a matter of where you see opportunity?
Where I see opportunity. So I don't just place the trades on 20 pairs and hope for the best, obviously. But I'll look and see what opportunities there is. There might be 6, and I'll check, okay, which one is my A+ setups, When I say A+ setups, I mean like everything has to follow my rules.
Okay.
If there's one that I don't trust so much, I feel like it's intuition at some point. That's why backtesting is so important. Because you'll be like, this setup really, I'm not trusting this one. This one looks better.
Yeah.
This one makes me feel at ease. This one looks perfect. And anything can happen with this trade, but I'll feel like it's worth it. So if I have 6 opportunities on the day, I might have 10 opportunities in that day. But every trade, according to strategy, will show when I need to enter. And then I'll be like, okay, I'm going to take these 2. And then once they're ready, I'll apply my trade management strategy. And then once I've secured that, now I'm looking at other setups as well and seeing, okay, when those are going to get ready for entry, then I'm going to take those because now, risk-free.
Yeah.
So it's really about being aware of every decision you make. And I think it can sometimes be overwhelming depending on your personality because you have to not overthink, but you have to make sure that every decision you make is the best possible decision for the outcome.
So true.
Because I'm a perfectionist and I know if I do something, if I forget something, I'm going to be hard on myself, because I know my potential, I know what I can do. So if you're one of those people that obviously feels like you need to make sure you don't make mistakes, just take it easy on yourself because as traders, we can be a little bit harsh on ourselves.
Thanks.
Even if you see a little bit of profits at your beginning stages, it's still good. The only difference is the lot size and the account size. But if you can do good things on 0.01 lot size, all that's the difference is the capital and making sure that you get higher lot size eventually, earning that right to get that higher lot size. And then that $1 turns into $10 and $1,000, and then to 6 figures. So yeah, it's about being appreciative of those profits as well. I think that's also another thing. When you see profits and social media, and then social media shows you something else, you can feel the pressure to undermine your progress.
Yeah.
And then you compare your achievement to their achievement. And like I said, you never know people's backup. So don't trust social media too much.
Yeah, even those achievements, they're not even real, some of them. So
I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard. It irritates me.
Yeah.
Because we work really hard as traders. The real traders, I would say, professional traders, we work really hard on becoming better, being better traders, not only for ourselves, but, I think mainly for ourselves as well. But like I said, you have a why, a reason why you're doing it in the first place. So if you mess up, who's your why? Are you your why? Are you going to disappoint yourself? Is it your family? Is that your why? Your kids, whoever, siblings? Why are you doing that? I think that's such a huge factor in terms of not giving up. What is your factor? Why are you not giving up? Do you see yourself achieving greater things? A lot of things like that. So yeah, like I said, social media, when you're starting, it's you versus you, not you versus someone else. You don't know their backup. So focus on yourself. 3 things.
100%.
3 things.
So have you ever found yourself in a situation where you had setups on all 20 pairs?
I will say, let me say yes.
Okay.
Let me say yes.
And out of the 20, how many did you take all of them?
No. No, I did not.
Okay.
Remember, okay, if you want to put it this way, did every setup give me the opportunity to enter?
Yeah.
Is that what you
speaking of? Yeah.
Okay, that never almost happens, where every pair will show me an opportunity. But let's say on a rare occasion, it gives me the opportunity to enter all 20 trades. Now I'm going to be happy because I'm like, okay, there's a lot of opportunity to choose from. But now it's a factor of really choosing which, like for me personally, I would choose 2 out of the lot.
Okay.
And then from there, once I've secured it enough, more. Okay, another 2. But yeah, it's a whole nother story. But
it is.
But that's all to do with trade management strategy. How you can start capitalizing even more. And this the trade management strategy really works wonders, especially if someone has a small account.
Okay.
Even $100 accounts. Like, I feel, it's magnificent because you're able to really capitalize in the most simplest way possible using risk management and trade management. And then if you have a small account, you're able to grow it much quicker instead of 0.01 lot size. Okay, wait for that trade to now be done. Do you have all the time in the world? I don't.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to say like in ways of rushing the process.
Okay.
I mean, there's better ways to think about it. Hence why I say I'm an accelerated mentor. I didn't have that. And that's why I'm like, if I know a quicker way to get it done the right way, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And it didn't work for me to do one lot size here. Then I see all 20 opportunities leave me and the trade I'm in didn't go my way. What's that going to do to your psychology? So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
It's like a sigh of relief. Figuring things out.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about your most. Do you have a trade that is like your most memorable trade?
Yes.
Oh yeah, let's hear about it. Let's hear about it. Tell us.
Very special to me. I could have two, but I'll do the one.
Even both, it's fine.
Oh, okay. So like I said, if you know a little bit about what you're doing at the beginning, seeing profits will keep you motivated to keep going.
Okay.
So, like I said, I was working at that time as well, and I was backtesting and practicing analysis and things like that, perfecting strategy as well. And I was earning a certain salary while working there. But this one time, I was trading and I saw my trade was 2 or 3 times more than the amount that I would have earned in a month. And I earned that in like a few hours. I think it was like, a few hours. I would say 3 hours maybe. And I remember feeling happy because I was like, does anyone else know about this? It's like a moment of just, and I'm actually like, I'm in the bathroom and I'm just like, and I'm checking my phone and I'm like, okay, does anyone in South Africa know about this?
Yeah.
Because I just made 3 times more than what I would having to go and work, deal with people at work. And sometimes work environments can maybe be toxic a little bit for some people, depending on how long you're there. But just seeing that, I was like, okay, keep going because there's money there.
Yeah.
There's potential there. And that was one of my little moments.
Yeah. Do you remember what you were trading, what the trade was?
It was currency. It was currency pair. I don't remember the pair.
Okay.
I've played so many trades over the time, but I remember the moment.
Yeah.
And that for me was a huge factor because it felt like no one could stop me from it, like making more. Like honestly, if you apply at a job and you go and work for someone, they're gonna tell you what salary or what your worth is, right? In other words, they're gonna say, okay, you deserve to get paid 10,000. And you're thinking, but I feel like I want more. I feel like I have more. If I put more, then you would think, okay, if you work somewhere, if you put more effort in, you can apply for a raise. But what is the chances of you really getting that raise? Someone has to determine, check it off and be like, okay, you're going to get that salary increase.
Yeah.
So someone always has to check to make sure that, okay, you can get this, you can get an increase. They determine sort of your value in a way.
Yeah, true.
And I think being in that trade, that moment made me feel like I had a lot of potential. And it made me feel like if I keep going, I can be rewarded even more. It's like uncapped, really. I
really
feel like it's a money glitch. Like if you want to put it like a, what do you call it? A glitch in the matrix? I don't know how you want to put it, but I would advise every single person, no matter who you are, how old you are, how young you are. If you're young, you have even a better advantage if you still have to be at school, no responsibility. So what else than to trade?
Yeah.
Learn the skill. And this is a skill you can teach to your children one day. They can teach to, so it's like a generational gift you can give to, generations after you, whether that's friends, family, whoever you consider. But yeah, and then another moment was, this moment was actually before this moment I just told you about. It was the first time I made, I think it was like 300 and something. So it was pretty modest.
Yeah.
But to me, it was a big moment because it happened in like less than an hour. And at that time also, like I said, I was working, but I was also working somewhere else where you would get paid like maybe per hour. But I got paid that in like less than an hour. And I was like, I'm ready to leave. I'm going. I just made money. And I'm thinking, I'm sitting in the car and I'm looking and I'm like, does anyone else see this? I've been in the mall already and I've made someone's salary and I'm walking the mall and you can see my screen. And it's a weird moment when you witness this, right? You see it. Now you've put in the effort, so it's not a surprise, but you can see people walking past you. They're in the mall, they're doing their thing, and then you have this on your phone and nobody knows. And you're like, what do I do in this moment? But it's like one of those moments. You don't really get a lot of those moments where you get to stop and appreciate how far you've come. So it's moments like this that really makes me, look back and see it and be like, wow, okay, cool. Nice. Yeah.
When did you quit your job? Or when did you decide to quit your job? Yeah.
I think that's a very important question.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people try to know, okay, when is the right time to leave? They want to go full time. Funny enough, I just got, like I said, I started to see that I was making good money in trading.
Okay.
It's not like I was like, yeah, I hate my job, I want to leave. It was never like that. I think I've always been like grateful and appreciative of everything in my life. So it wasn't a moment of, I just want to leave and just do trading. But I think the best time for me was when I realized that I made more than what I was making. And I could sustain myself off of trading. But not just that, like obviously you have to have multiple streams of income. That's another thing people don't talk about.
Okay.
Is that if you just trade on its own, you will put unnecessary pressure on yourself as well. So make sure that once you start making money, that you start looking at assets and things like that. But that's a whole topic for another moment. But think smart about it. Don't just decide, okay, leave and you're going to be a profitable trader, because that's most likely not going to happen at the beginning because it's different pressures now.
Yeah.
You had the comfort of a job and now you're trading and it was good because now you're relaxed and now it's making your mindset all good. Your psychology is good because you're like, okay, if you're in this trade, oh well, I'm still getting money from work. So would I advise people to leave their jobs once they start being profitable? It's solely up to you and time. I found myself not having enough balancing time. So I found myself having to be more on the charts and then not being able to really be at work. It wasn't like a hasty decision. It took time.
Yeah.
It took time for that transition. And even after I left already, it still took me maybe a whole year to fully transition into, I don't have to go anywhere. I am here.
Yeah.
I have my laptop and things like that. So,
What obstacles did you face, though, especially from a mindset perspective, after leaving the comfort of having a job to transitioning into full-time trading?
Full-on entrepreneur mode. I didn't think I had it in me, in a way. I think that's the interesting part. You don't really know your full potential until you are put in that situation. Then started to find that I'm actually very good at mentoring as well. So I mentored people here and they also gave me a distraction. to make sure I'm always on top of my game, my mental mind, in terms of the charts and things like that. Because if you already know what you're doing on the charts, there's no one to really hold you accountable for your actions. So let's say you're slacking a bit, but when you're a mentor and you have students, you need to be on top of your game every single time. And you cannot slack. You cannot make excuses. And that's what I like, actually. There's people that are holding you accountable to make sure that you're on top of your game, to never mess up, and to just, keep showing up for them and giving them the best possible potential of outcome.
Yeah.
So, challenges that I faced, learning new things in the outside world, I would say.
Okay.
Meaning that you eventually know you need an accountant. You eventually know you need to learn how to money manage.
Yeah.
Minus social media, because I can put pressure on you to maybe think, okay, maybe you should be like this. Then you're like, I'm not like that. So is there something wrong? I'm not like that. So, I'm different. So there's a lot of things, but I don't really see things as challenges. I see them as opportunities to really dive deeper into what I need to do.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people need to approach it like that, because if you see challenges, what does a challenge mean? Like a wall, right? It's a challenge. It's tough. I can't get through it. But almost always, I feel like if you have the ability to just keep working, keep focus, you will get through it. And you'll get it done.
Yeah.
If you do it with the right intentions. And that's what I always make sure to do. So if something doesn't resonate, something doesn't align, I know, then I'm off track maybe, or whatever. But it's very rare. I think, I'm a very self-conscious person. So, I like to make sure I don't disappoint myself. But a lot of things, accountants and things like that. So,
Yeah. All right. And what's your biggest loss? And I always like to clarify this one. I'm not asking about a monetary loss, but just the loss that you've taken along your journey where you felt like you lost something. It could be monetary, it could not be monetary, but like just a loss that you feel like and the reason why I'm asking this is that I want to ask the lesson that you learned behind that as well.
Okay. So any loss in the market? It's tuition. Tuition paid to the market. Obviously not recklessly, but I see it as that. It's very valuable lessons. But in terms of any losses, nothing that didn't have to leave my life in order for me to get to the level that I needed to.
Sure.
So I wouldn't say I had any losses.
Nothing reckless in a sense.
No, I don't party.
Even on the charts, nothing reckless.
I've been reckless. Come on now. Okay. I'm innocent. I've been reckless.
Yeah.
I've been reckless.
Okay.
When you get in the middle stages, when you feel unstoppable, untouchable type of feeling.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I think another challenge is that I label it as this, dealing with ego or arrogance.
Okay.
I don't, like, not in the way that you think.
Yeah.
But once you start seeing that you're a profitable trader, you start to get to a point where you're like, I don't need anyone. That type of feeling. You don't need anyone. You're self-sustaining.
Yeah.
You can do your own thing. But then I realized you need to check yourself. Does it make sense? Check yourself, no matter how harsh it's going to be. It was a very brief moment, but then I realized I was putting unnecessary pressure on myself to perform at a whole nother level, and realizing that everything is important. And even if you're making good profits on the charts, that doesn't mean now, in Afrikaans you say, your kop het hak uit. Okay, so like your mind, you unstoppable.
Yeah.
So it's like impossible or something. But keep level-headed.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to be there when you finally make good profits, right? You're making good money. You don't have any examples in terms of Forex and what to do. And I'm talking about in detail now, in terms of inner circle type of thing, the inside cocoon, right?
Yeah.
You don't have any person you're going to message and be like, yo, okay, once you reach this level, okay, what did you do first? What did you do here? Nobody tells you that. So I had to learn all those things, thankfully, in time, all the time. Luckily. I think there's a whole bunch of other stories out there, but having a good support system around you and having people around you that also do things the right way is so important, because they'll hold you accountable to make sure that, you know, okay, there's law in place and things like that you need to do even when you're a trader. You can't just do like what everyone else is doing. Be like, they won't know I exist. They do know you exist. But just learning along the way. So that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you so much, Cleo.
Yes.
Did I say it right? Cleo, it's Cleo.
Yes, that's
Cleo. I said Cleo, but
you said Cleo.
It's the South African English.
Put some emphasis on it.
No, thank you so much. I really enjoyed today's conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Obviously, we'll leave all your contact information down below as well on screen as well for people if they want to reach out to you as well.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time and appreciate y'all's time as well for watching until the end. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was another installment of Market Masters, where I sit down with the most prominent and talented traders in the industry, and myself, Nqobile Tembane from Top Traders South Africa. I see you guys same time, same place next week, and we are out.